Hi, I'm Richard Davies, the CEO of Allica. Really excited today to be announcing the acquisition of Kriya, a leading invoice finance and embedded finance platform. We can do a huge amount together. In fact, we are committing to lend £1 billion over the next 3 years via the Kriya platform, as we really try and jointly continue our mission to transform the SME finance market in the UK.
Hi, my name is Anil. I'm the CEO and co-founder at Kriya. Since we launched, we have funded $4 billion to small businesses through invoice finance, business loans, and embedded finance.
And we're on a mission to get to 10% penetration of the established SME segment by the end of 2027. So very excited by how Kriya can help us on that mission.
We've never been a bank, so partnering now with Allica, we can do a lot more, accessing more scalable funding, to having complementary product sets, to better serve the same customers, and also developing new products together. It's really synergistic, our cultures are really aligned, we're fighting for the same mission, and that's why this is so exciting. So as you know, Richard, we started Market Invoice, which became Kriya, back in 2011, and that was really in the aftermath of the financial crash. And I was working in financial services and I saw just how SMEs were suffering through that. You know, the big banks weren't lending to them, they were having to wait a long time to get paid, and that was really the genesis of our product, which is to help the ones who are overlooked but want to grow, good businesses. And really the team at Kriya is super driven by that mission of helping businesses scale, getting them to do their first exports, getting them to sign contracts with big corporates. That's really our DNA. And I think when I look at the story of Allica, you share a lot of those values.
Yeah, no, I agree. We're certainly super, driven by purpose of trying to help these businesses that probably about a third of our economy, but seems not enough love and attention given by the larger firms to them. And so critical, I think, to the growth prospects of the economy all around. And I think, some great work done actually the last decade or so. Clearly, fintechs and challenger banks are now, I think, about 60% of all SME lending, but it still seems there is quite a gap actually out there and a real need to help SMEs more. And so, I think combining forces, we can hopefully really turbocharge that mission to improve this. So, I mean, one of the things that I know we've talked about a lot and feels like it's sort of really emerging as a really key trend of the future, right, is this whole piece around embedded payments, deferred payments, embedded finance. Tell me more about that.
Yes, absolutely. A key trend we're noticing, and I'm sure you've noticed as well, is how finance just used to be held in a few banks, and finance and credit is now sort of being distributed into tech systems, ecosystem marketplaces, within payments, at point of sale. And we call this a sort of decentralization of finance. And that's why embedded finance is so exciting, because by offering credit options at the point of need or the point of transaction, like in a checkout or in a payment flow, you're making it really easy for businesses to access the capital where they need it, when they need it. And I think the Allica Kriya combined entry into embedded finance in the UK and maybe into Europe as well over time can really accelerate the amount of lending, and we can reach far more businesses than we have been able to in the past. So, embedded finance is definitely here to stay, and we're going to be right at the forefront of it. Obviously, we have been on a bit of a journey with our brand. We've renamed ourselves a few times, but we eventually settled on Kriya, which is a Sanskrit word that denotes being in a state of flow. And that's because we just know how business owners, they just want things to get unblocked. They just want business to flow. They want to get into their happy state of making things happen. So I think it'll be interesting how our brands combine, and over time we work together to get our brands out there.
Yeah, I completely agree. It was great when we announced this on a internal call with Allica colleagues that there was so much enthusiasm with people saying, hey, I've got a client that needs invoice finance, been asking about it, or there's a broker firm saying, my God, when's Allica going to do invoice finance? So very exciting. Let's go.